Pioneer fans, Pioneer women's varsity basketball is live and on the air. We are live at the main gym here on Pioneer High School's campus, where it is your Pioneer women varsity basketball team taking on the Dexter Dreadnoughts. Pioneer 7-9, coming off of a big win versus Skyline, 54-26. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. Pioneer, since the beginning of the calendar year, lost to Father Gabriel Shard. They put 3 wins together, beating Lincoln, Jackson, and Huron. They had a 2-game skid versus Saline and this Dexter team, where they lost at Dexter 65-47. They then beat Monroe 42-27, lost to Bedford 40-27, and then beat Skyline 54-26 to come to 7-9 in that game versus Skyline. It was leading scorer for Pioneer Brewer, who had 12 points. Gatson had 10, 9 for Jones, 9 for Harris, 4 for Cunningham, 4 for Davis, 2 for Karsh, 2 for Rowe, 1 for Kamara, and 1 for Wernamount. Pioneer had the 13-9 lead at the end of one, stretched it out to 29-12 at the halftime. Then it was a 9-point lead at the end of the third, 38-19, before Pioneer pulled away and finished it off 54-26. Dexter is 12-5 on the season. They have a 2-game win streak coming on. They started off the season with wins versus Salem and Plymouth Christian Academy. They then had a loss versus Bedford, losing that 56-37, then to Grand Rapids Catholic Central. They then put 5 wins in a row, beating Huron, Lincoln, Grass Lake, Troy, and then Battle Creek Lakeview. They had a 2-game skid versus Saline and Chelsea. Then they had 3 wins as they beat Skyline, Monroe, and again, we talked about that Pioneer game. Their last loss was to Bedford back on the 31st of last month, 46-38. Then they came in, they beat Huron on the 3rd, 55-40, and beat Lincoln. That was over at Lincoln, 66-23. So they are 12-5 on the season. So should be a good game between these two teams. We do want to mention, we want to make sure you save the date for the Ann Arbor Pioneer Booster Fundraising Bash. The date is April 15th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Germain Audi of Ann Arbor. It is the biggest fundraising opportunity Pioneer Athletics has all season long. So if you can, get out for all the festivities. That's the Pioneer Booster Fundraising Bash, April 15th from 7 to 11 at Germain Audi of Ann Arbor. Let's play a few messages from the MHSAA as the clock counts down, and we will have your starting lineups in the national anthem coming up in just about 9 minutes. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
as we are at the main gym here at Pioneer, where it is your Pioneer women's varsity basketball team in to take on the Dexter Dreadnoughts. The JV game beforehand, it was 30. Let me pull that down a little bit because we got a little high. There we go. It was 33-29 as the JV squad beat Pioneer's JV squad beat Dexter's JV squad. Again, Pioneer 7-9 on the season. Dexter coming in at 12-5. These two teams tangled earlier, as that was back on the 27th. The Dexter won that one. That was a, let me do a quick math, 18-point win, 65-47. Pioneer's going to look to try and turn the scripts here at home and try and make it so they can split the season series with the Dreadnoughts. As we got about a minute 45 seconds as everyone is getting warmed up, ready to go. Dexter in their black jerseys. They have the kind of pewter-like color on the back. I guess it might be beige, outlined in red on the front and on the back. Dexter in block lettering. Across the front, they have that maroon stripe down the sides. Pioneer is in their white jerseys with the purple trim, purple numbers on the back and on the front. Pioneer in block lettering. As we are getting ready to go. Just a few more moments now as Dexter comes off the court to gather around their coaching staff and get last moment instructions. Pioneer taking a few extra shots. We appreciate you joining us when you can't be here. Thanks for watching. We are very, very grateful. As this game again was moved from originally it was going to be, see if I can refresh things really quickly here and get that going and make sure and test. Yep, everything looks good. As John testing the PA mic across the way. And we will turn things over to John in just a moment as we'll have the national anthem. All the teams getting lined up as they will lined up at across the arc. Pioneer lines up across the arc. Dexter straight across the free throw line. As now John will welcome everyone.
Now remove all caps for the playing of the national anthem.
As we're about to have starting lineups now. 8 minutes up on the clock as John settles in across the way. The officials get set up. Coach Hicks comes over to the scorer's bench, makes sure all the books are in order and everything looks great. As we are about to get underway, and here's John.
And over Pioneer High School, its athletics department and its women's basketball program are pleased to welcome the players, coaches, parents, students, alumni, and fans of the Dexter Dreadnoughts to tonight's game against your another Pioneers. Let's meet the starting lineups. First for Dexter, number 22, junior forward Alyssa Gullickson. For Pioneers, number 5, freshman forward Jordan English. For Dexter, number 34, junior forward Heidi Hughes. For Pioneer, number 32, junior forward, Emmanuel Davis. For the Dreadnoughts, number 5, sophomore guard, Alana Bloomberg. For Pioneer, it's number 11, junior guard, Lily Jones. For Dexter, number 11, freshman guard, Addison Chase. For Pioneer, she's number 24, senior guard, it's Savannah Brewer. And for Dexter, number 20, senior guard, Chloe Perry. For Pioneer, number 34, junior guard, Haley Shifter. The head coach of Dexter, Lauren Thompson, assisted by Riley McDonald. Pioneers head coach, Tyrone Hicks, assisted by Lawrence DeWolf and Fred Webster. And the third team on the court tonight, the officials, Doug Richardson, Pat Schultz, and Chad Stevens.
As we're about to get underway, big thank you to John over there for the starting lineups. And to take the opening tip is Fuchs for Dexter. On the other side, Emmanuel Davis for Pioneer. 8 minutes up on the clock. We're about to get underway for your Pioneer women's varsity basketball action. Again, game that was originally scheduled for tomorrow, happening a little earlier today, so we appreciate you joining us if you can't be here. Emmanuel Davis gets over to Brewer. Brewer brings it ahead for Pioneer. Brewer kicks it over on the far wing to Jones. Jones works her way top of the key. Jones gets it over to Brewer. Brewer comes working her way around the arc over on the far wing. Brewer picks up the dribble. Gets it back to Jones on the near wing. Jones working against Bloomberg. Jones gets into the paint, puts it up. That ball's off to the near side, but Jordan Davis with the rebound. Now Brewer coming down the baseline from the near side, puts it up, rattles out, hit both sides of the rim, fell out to the near side, out of bounds. That's going to stay Pioneer ball. 7:31 left to go here in the first, scoreless so far. As Pioneer to inbound, Jones to inbound, baseline left, right underneath her own basket. Jones gets it over in the far corner to Brewer. Brewer comes into the paint trying to put it up. Whistle and a foul. As that foul is going to be on Chase. Chase picks up her first foul. That puts Brewer to the line. Brewer dribbles. Bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. Brewer, first point of the game. Trying to make it an early 2-point lead for Pioneer with 7:28 left to go here in this, the first. Second shot is up from Brewer, and that rattles home. Brewer with 2 points. It's 2-0. Pioneer with the lead. Dexter brings it ahead as Perry has it. Over half court. Brewer watches Perry. Now that kicked over to Bloomberg. Bloomberg just inside of half court. Jones watching her. Bloomberg right on the blockades. Comes over onto the far wing. Dishes that off for Chase. Chase working her way around the arc. Now on the near wing for Perry. Perry against Brewer. That tipped away. Pulled away by Emmanuel Davis. Here comes Brewer for Pioneer over half court. Brewer coming over on the far wing, kicks that over to Jones. Now Brewer gets it back on the far sideline. 6:57 left to go. At the far elbow is Emmanuel Davis. Emmanuel Davis coming down the paint, picks up her dribble. That's stolen away by Dexter. Coming the other direction is Chase. Chase moves it over as that shot up by Perry. Wouldn't fall off the rim. Pulled down by Brewer, but a whistle.
Pioneer substitution, number 22, Jasmine Jackson.
Gatson comes in for Pioneer. As 2-0 Pioneer with the lead. 6:40 left to go here in the first. As Jones comes over half court for Pioneer. Jones just inside of half court. As she's working in there against Galaxon. Jones picks up the dribble, trying to get it to Gatson. And pulled away. Here comes Fuchs as Dexter comes ahead, dishes off on the far baseline over to Bloomberg. Bloomberg gets it back over to Perry, who puts up the shot. Off the rim, off the glass, pulled down by Jordan Davis. Here comes Brewer for Pioneer the other direction. 2-0 Pioneer with the lead as Brewer working against Bloomberg. kicked over on the near wing to Jones. Jones squared up against Galaxon, now to Gadsden, comes down the far side of the paint. That's going to be a travel as the ball goes over to Dexter. 6 minutes even left to go here in the first. 2-0. Pioneer with the lead as Perry brings it ahead for the Dreadnoughts. Perry over half court as Sheffield picks her up there. Perry on the far sideline. Perry now trying to work her way to the baseline, into the paint, puts up a reverse layup as that off the glass, pulled down by Jones. Here comes Pioneer. Jones over half court, down the near sideline. Perry quickly over to try and get her, and over to Brewer. Brewer comes down into the baseline, floats it up, that off the back of the rim, wouldn't go. Pulled down by Jordan Davis, but not before. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow points over to Dexter. 5:30 left to go here in the first. Defensive first half so far, 2-0 Pioneer with the lead. Perry brings the ball up, gets it back over to Chase. Chase coming ahead for Dexter over half court. Burr picks her up there. Chase hands it off to Perry on the far wing. Perry comes top of the key. Now over on the near wing, trying to dish it underneath that put up. As put up down there by, that was Fuchs. Gatson picks up her first foul. And will be in the shot, in the act of shooting, as that will put Bloomberg to the line. One foul on each team. Bloomberg bends the knees, puts up the first shot. That off the back of the rim. One more coming for Bloomberg. Bloomberg trying to cut the lead down to 1. 2-0 Pioneer with the early lead. Bloomberg dribbles. High dribble, then bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. Bloomberg with her first points. It's 2-1. Pioneer with the lead. 5:14 left to go as Brewer brings ahead for Pioneer over half court, working against Bloomberg. Brewer down the near side of the paint, puts it up off glass. Bloomberg with the rebound. Here comes Dexter the other direction. 5:03 left to go as that ball, Perry has it on the baseline. Gets that over to Fuchs. Now there's a shot by Bloomberg for 3. Fuchs with the rebound, that knocked down, but pulled out over to Bloomberg for 3 from the near point, or from the far point, and she puts it up. Bloomberg with 4 points, and it's now 4-2. Dexter with the lead. 4:40 left to go. Jones has it on the near sideline for Pioneer. Jones bounce pass over to Brewer. Timeout called beforehand. Coach Hicks wants to talk things over. And so far, Brewer with 2 points. She has 2 free throws on the other side. Bloomberg has a free throw and a three-pointer to make it 4-2. Let's play a quick push on, and we will be right back. Inbounds, gets it over to Jones for Pioneer. Jones over half court. Jones being watched over there by Gullickson. Jones, bounce pass over to Brewer just inside of half court. Brewer on the far sideline. Brewer again working against Gullickson. Brewer getting a screen, looks to get a screen from Gadsden. They'll call that a moving screen. Gadsden will pick up her second foul. 2 fouls on Pioneer, 1 on Dexter. 4:19 left to go here in the first. Dexter up 4-2. As Perry brings it over half court. Whistle. As the officials go, did the clock not start? I think they wanted to figure out exactly who that was. So Gadsden again with her second foul. Hahn comes in, gives Gadsden a breather. As Dexter to inbound, Perry has it in the backcourt, comes over half-court line, being watched there by Sheffield. As Perry moves it top of the key over to Chase. Chase over to Perry. Perry thought about the 3, comes down into the paint, puts it up high off glass as that bounces up and in. As Perry now has 2 points, and it's 6-2. Dexter with the lead. Jones over half court for Pioneer. Jones hands it off to Brewer. Brewer comes over on the near wing. Brewer gets a screen from Hahn. Brewer for three, and she hits it. Nothing but net. Brewer has 5 points, and it's 6-5. Dexter with the lead. Perry for Dexter right at the point, and that is going to be travel call, Pioneer ball. Jones the inbound right in front of her own bench. Jones gets it over to Brewer. Brewer brings it ahead for Pioneer. Brewer coming down the far sideline. Brewer gets over half court. And Brewer working against Bloomberg over to Jones on the near wing. That's going to be a travel. That'll go over to Dexter. 3:23 left to go here in the first. 6-5. Dexter with the lead. Chase inbounds. Perry brings it ahead for Dexter. Sheffield picks her up right at half court. Perry over on the far wing. Perry moving it over top of the key. Now over on the near wing to Chase. Chase comes top of the key. Kicks that over on the far wing to Gallatin. Now Perry on the near wing. Perry into paint. Moves it over on the far wing. Three-pointer just a little too long for Chase. And move back over. Dexter with the rebound. Put up and in by Bloomberg. Bloomberg with 6 points, and it's Dexter 8, Pioneer 5, 2:51 left to go here in the first. Jones ahead for Pioneer, coming down the far side of the court. Jones owns it off the hand. Hahn. Now Brewer for three. That one falls just a little short. Jordan Davis kicks it back to Jones. Jones down the paint, puts up a floater up and in. Jones with her first points of the game. 2:30 left to go. Quickly the other direction is Perry for Dexter. 8-7 is the Dexter lead. Brewer steals it away for Pioneer. Brewer on the far wing into the paint. That knocked away. And it looks like it's going to be a foul called, and that foul will be on Gallatin. Gallatin, her first foul. 2 fouls on Pioneer, 2 fouls on Dexter. They'll put Brewer to the line. She will be shooting. Brewer eyes the rim, puts it up, puts it in. 6 points for Brewer, trying to make it 7. We're all knotted up at 8 apiece. Brewer trying to give Pioneer their first win. Karsh comes in for Pioneer. Brewer spins the ball, second shot coming. Bends the knees, eyes the rim, puts it up, puts it in. Brewer leading all scorers with 7 points. Pioneer 9, Dexter 8, 2:15 left to go here in the first. Perry over half court being watched by Jordan Davis. Perry top of the key coming down the near side of the paint. There's a 3 by Bloomberg as that rims out. Grabbed down by Jordan Davis for Pioneer. Now Jones brings it ahead for Pioneer over half court. Pioneer up 9-8. Jones kicks it over to Brewer. Brewer coming down the far sideline. Brewer into the far corner. Dishes it underneath for Karsh. Karsh makes a move and is fouled. Trying to go to the bucket. That'll put Karsh to the line. As I believe that's on Perry. It is indeed Perry. That is the third foul on Dexter. 2 on Pioneer. Karsh to the line, shooting 2. 1 minute, 51 seconds left to go. Karsh puts up and in. Nothing but net for Karsh. One more coming for Kaylee Karsh. One of the 4 seniors on this team with Harris, Brewer, and Kamar. Karsh gets the ball back, dribbles, spins the ball, eyes the rim, puts it up, and pops off the back of the rim, and Jordan Davis with the rebound. Jordan Davis gets it to Brewer. Pioneer keeps possession. Brewer over to Jordan Davis on the far wing, back to Brewer on the far sideline. Brewer calling for a screen from Karsh, now gets it over to Jones, top of the key. Jones working against Bloomberg, moves it over to Emmanuel Davis, trying to get it underneath to Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis has it, up glass, knocks off the rim and down, as Jordan Davis has her first points from Emmanuel Davis, and it's 12-8, Pioneer with the lead. Quickly, Perry down into the lane, puts it up, off the rim, hold down on the near side. Brewer for Pioneer, the other direction. 1 minute, 11 seconds left to go in the first. Brewer puts up a floater, and comes off on the near wing, and Perry trying to get it. There is a foul that is going to be on Jones. Jones' first foul, that's going to be 3 fouls on Pioneer, 3 fouls on Dexter, as we 1 minute 5 seconds left to go here in the first. As that brought ahead by Perry for Dexter over half court. Jordan Davis picks her up at the top of the key. 12-8 Pioneer with the lead. 54 seconds left to go. Perry into the lane. That block by Emmanuel Davis. Jordan Davis with the rebound. Here comes Brewer for Pioneer over half court. Calling out for a screen. Karsh comes out to help her. Brewer on the far sideline. Now Brewer comes top of the key. Bloomberg watching her. Into the near corner for Jordan Davis and just had to spin and ended up out of bounds. That ball will go over to Dexter as Perry to inbound on the near sideline. Hahn comes back in to give Karsh a breather, and Rowe comes out, letting Brewer take a breath. Pioneer up 12-8. Dexter with the ball. 35 seconds left to go here in the first. Perry over half court. Jordan Davis picks her up there. And flip back over on the far wing to Gullickson. Gullickson back over to Bloomberg. Now Perry on the near wing. Perry dribbles to her left, comes to the free throw line, moves it over. Racing down is Gullickson. And pull back over into the near corner. Gullickson with a three, and that is it. Gullickson with 3 points. As that makes it 12-11. Pioneer with a 1-point lead. 5 seconds left to go in the first. Hahn over half court, moves it over as Jordan Davis can't quite get off a shot. A little confusion at the end of the period, but Pioneer has the 12-11 lead at the end of one. Let's play push on and get you fired up for the second quarter. You are watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. The cheerleaders are down to our right. Just past the baseline right, keeping everyone fired up. Pioneer with the ball to start off the second quarter. Brewer to inbound right in front of us. Pioneer with the 1-point lead, 12-11. 3 fouls apiece on both teams, so 4 fouls away from the bonus for either team. Bloomberg watching Brewer. Brewer gets it over to Jones. Jones brings the head for Pioneer over half court. Jones, bounce pass over to Hahn, top of the key. That ends up in a jump ball. Possession arrow points Dexter's way. Dexter, the inbound on the near sideline is Bloomberg. Gets it into Perry. Perry brings it ahead. 7:50 left to go here in the second. Perry calling for a screen. Working against Sheffield. Now that pulled over to Chase. Chase over on the near wing to Bloomberg. Bloomberg working her way around. Moves it over to Gullickson. Gullickson. Now over to Perry on the near wing. Into the near corner for Bloomberg. Bloomberg works around the arc, picks up the dribble, double team, moves it back to Perry just inside of half court. Sheffield watching her. Perry over into the near corner as that is blocked. As Fuchs put it up and Emmanuel Davis came in. Heavy block as it had just, I don't even know if it left Fuchs' hands before it was blocked away. Fuchs looks like she's all right. Almost took that off of the face. As inbound, Gullickson getting it in on the near wing. Bloomberg working her way around the arc. Now over to Perry on the near wing. Perry comes down to the baseline, puts it up. Little too long. That goes out of bounds. Pioneer ball. 7:17 left to go. Here in the second. 12-11. No, they'll say Pioneer tipped it on its way out. Bloomberg will inbound. Gets it over to Gullickson on the far wing. Now Perry on the near wing to Bloomberg in the near corner for three. And off the front of the rim as Brewer traces it down into the far corner. Here comes Jones for Pioneer. Jones goes over half court, coming down the far sideline. Pioneer up by a point. Jones into the paint, collision. That is going to be out of bounds. Over to Dexter with 7:01 left to go here in the second. 12-11, Pioneer with the lead as Perry over half court. Sheffield watches her as Perry comes top of the key. Perry racing down the far side of the paint, puts it up, collision underneath. She goes down hard as it goes off of the rim. As they're going to call the foul on Jones. Jones picks up her second foul. 4 fouls on Pioneer, 3 on Dexter. That'll put Perry to the line, shooting 2, trying to tie or take the lead if she hits both of these. First shot is up for Perry, off the back of the rim. One more shot coming for Perry as the other Dexter players pat her on the back. 6:49 left to go here before halftime. Perry puts it up, off the back of the rim. Pioneer stays up by 1 as Emmanuel Davis with a rebound gets it over to Brewer. Brewer brings it ahead for Pioneer down the far sideline, watched by Chase. Brewer over half court, over to Jones in the far corner. Jones bounce pass back to Brewer on the far sideline. Brewer now comes just inside of half court. Brewer coming down the far sideline, right in front of the Dexter bench. Brewer, as that is going to be a whistle, and that is going to go over to Dexter on a 5-second call. Gatson comes in for Ann Arbor. So Jack Gatson in for Pioneer. The ball inbounded. Chase gets it to Perry. Pioneer still with the 1-point lead. Perry comes over half court. Sheffield picks her up there. Now Jones watching Chase. Over to Perry on the near wing. Perry kicks it back to Chase. Now over in the far corner. Gullickson with it. Gullickson back to Chase on the near wing. Perry trying to get it to Bloomberg. That's stolen away by Gatson. Gatson over to Brewer. Brewer brings the head for Pioneer. 6 minutes even left to go before halftime. Brewer for Pioneer comes to the free throw line, trying to dish it in underneath. That's stolen away by Chase. Here comes Chase the other direction for the Dreadnoughts. Puts it up a little too low, drove a little too far as that went off of the back, underside of the glass, but a foul called. They called that on Jones? They're going to say Sheffield with the foul. That's going to be her first. 5 fouls on Pioneer, 3 on Dexter. First shot up by Chase. Off the back of the rim, the front of the rim, and fell away off to the front. One more coming for Chase. 5:48 left to go before halftime. Jordan Davis comes in, and she gives Sheffield a breather. One more shot coming for Chase, trying to get the game tied up at 12 apiece. Shot is up, and shot is good. That is the first points for Chase. We're all knotted up at 12 apiece. Jones brings the head for Pioneer. Over half court, Jones. Over to Brewer. Brewer just inside of half court on that far sideline. Brewer dribbling down the far sideline. Emmanuel Davis comes out to give her a screen. That back over to Jones. Jones gets a screen from Gatson. Jones being watched by Perry. Bounce pass over to Brewer. Brewer trying to work against Chase. Chase blanket coverage as that's tipped. Timeout call by Pioneer. They want to talk things over. Let's play a little bit of a message from the MHSA. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Basketball, and with 5:22 left to go, we're all knotted up at 12 apiece.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
5 minutes, 22 seconds left to go before halftime. All knotted up at 12 apiece. Brewer to inbound. As she is committed to Olivet College this past week. Congratulations to her. We're excited to see what she can do at the next level, along with all these wonderful, amazing athletes, whether they go ahead in academics or sports. Brewer gets it from Jones. Fires it underneath the Gatson. Gatson underneath the Emmanuel Davis, who puts it up. That just off the glass. Came off the near side. Perry brings it ahead for Dexter. 5 minutes even left to go before halftime. All knotted up at 12 apiece. Over on the near wing to Chase. Chase works her way around the arc, kicks it over to Gullickson on the far sideline. Back to Chase, now to Perry on the near wing. Perry comes her way top of the key. Now Bloomberg with the 3, and she hits it. Bloomberg now has 9 points as it is 15-12. Dexter with the lead. Brewer for Pioneer on the far sideline. Gets it over to Jordan Davis on the far wing. Jordan Davis Works her way around the arc, kicks it to Jones, about 5 feet off the top of the key. Jones, bounce pass into the far corner, that tipped, and that will be Dexter ball. 4:23 left to go here in the second. Dexter up 15-12. Perry brings it in. Cabana comes in for Dexter. As that over to Chase. Chase on the near wing to Bloomberg. Bloomberg cuts toward the free throw line. Now moves it back to Chase. Blocked by Emmanuel Davis as she blasts that three-pointer away from Chase. That will be Dexter ball as they will inbound, or Dexter will inbound right in front of the Pioneer bench. 15-12, Dexter with the lead, 4:10 left to go here in the second quarter. As Perry comes top of the key, now moves it over on the near wing to Fuchs. Back over to Chase to the free throw line. Now Bloomberg on the near wing comes top of the key. Gets that back over to Cabana, now racing down. Chase puts it up from the paint. That comes off the rim to the near side. Grabbed by Gatson. Gatson picks up the ball. Coming ahead for Pioneer. Gatson double team, moves it over to Jones. Jones on the far wing. Jones, top of the key, bounce pass over to Sheffield on the near wing. Sheffield being watched by Chase. Jordan Davis now kicks it over on the far sideline. Knocked away, and that will be Dexter ball as Perry able to deflect it into a Pioneer player as it goes out of bounds. 3:34 left to go here before halftime. 15-12, Perry over half court. Perry racing down the near side of the paint, kicks it back over to Bloomberg to the free throw line. Chase back over to Perry on the near wing. Sheffield watching her. Perry puts up a three and hits it. Perry now has 5 points as it's 18-12. Dexter with the lead. Jones has it for Pioneer just inside of half court. Over to Sheffield. Sheffield over to Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis gets it back over to Sheffield. Just off of the blockade. Sheffield on the near wing as a whistle, and there is going to be a foul, blocking foul. And it's going to be on Chase. That's Chase's second foul. 5 fouls on Pioneer, 4 on Dexter. As Brewer to inbound for Pioneer, baseline left, just to the near side of her own basket. Brewer gets it, tipped away by Perry, but Brewer gets it back. Brewer floats it over to Gatson. Gatson puts it up underneath, and rattled off to the far side, pulled down by Bloomberg. Bloomberg comes ahead for Dexter into the near corner. There's a long two-pointer. That just goes a little long as that was Kruger with the shot. Whistle, and we'll go over to Pioneer as Perry picks up her second foul. 5 fouls on Pioneer, 5 fouls on Dexter. 2:36 left to go here in the second. Sheffield inbound, baseline right. Gatson gets a breather. Karsh back in for Pioneer. Gullickson comes in for Dexter, giving Perry a breather. Full court pressure by Bloomberg as Sheffield gets it to Brewer for Pioneer. Brewer brings it ahead. Down the far side of the court, Brewer over half court. Brewer comes top of the key, moves it over to Sheffield on the near wing. Sheffield. Emmanuel Davis has it top of the key. Now Emmanuel Davis hands it off to Brewer. Brewer on the far wing. Brewer calling out signals. Now kicks it over to Jordan Davis on the far side of the paint. Jordan Davis pulls it off of the deck, and a whistle. Gullickson picks up her second foul. 6 on Dexter, 5 on Pioneer. 1 more by Dexter, and Pioneer will be in the bonus. Brewer to inbound, baseline left, 2:12 left to go here in the second. And Jordan Davis picks up a foul. So both teams have 6 fouls. As bringing it ahead is Bloomberg over half court for Dexter. Bloomberg moves it over to Fuchs on the far sideline. Now over on the near wing, Bloomberg has it. Bloomberg working her way around the arc, puts it into the near corner for Lewis. Now top of the key, racing down with it is Gullickson. Gullickson Gets it over to Cabana. Now there's a three-pointer that just goes long for Fuchs. Out of bounds. As that will be Dexter ball with 1 minute 42 seconds left to go here in the second. 18-12, Dexter with the lead. As Gullickson inbounds underneath, blocked by Emmanuel Davis, but put up off glass by Kruger. Kruger with her first points. She has two. 20-12, 8-point lead by Dexter. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go here in the second. Sheffield brings ahead for Pioneer over half court. Sheffield on the far sideline comes top of the key. Sheffield has that poked away. Coming the other direction is Cabana. Cabana puts it underneath and put up off glass and in by Kruger. Kruger with 4 points, and it's 22-12. 10-point lead by Dexter. 1:09 left to go before halftime. Brewer for Pioneer has it in the near corner. Brewer gets it over to Karsh on the near wing. Karsh over to Emmanuel Davis at the free throw line. Emmanuel Davis floats it up, rolls around and in. Emmanuel Davis with her first points of the game. She has two. It's 22-14. Dexter with the lead. 50 seconds left to go. As Bloomberg brings it over half court, Sheffield picks her up there, moving it over on the far wing for Gullickson. Gullickson comes to the near elbow, now into the near corner. Bloomberg on the near wing puts up a three-pointer. That off the rim, trying to pull it down is Fuchs. And it comes back on the near wing. Bloomberg kicks it back over to Gullickson. Now bounce pass into the far corner. Cabana puts up a three-pointer. That off to the far side. Rebound put up. Wouldn't go by Bloomberg, and the ball tipped out. That is going to remain Dexter ball with 20.5 seconds left to go. 22-14, Dexter with the lead. So they have the 8-point lead. Jones comes in as well as Hahn for Pioneer. As Bloomberg gets that bounce pass from Kruger. Over to Cabana. Cabana over to Bloomberg. Bloomberg on the far sideline. Thought about a three. Gets it back to Fuchs now on the near wing. Bounce pass, top of the key for Gullickson. Gullickson comes down on the near baseline. That put up and on with the rebound. That will do it for the first half, as at the end of the first half, Dexter 22 and Pioneer 14. Taking a look at your score so far, Pioneer leading scorer is Brewer with 7. 2 points for Davis, 2 points for Jones, 2 points for Emmanuel Davis, 2 points for Jordan Davis, 2 points for Jones, and a point for Karsh. On the other side, it is Bloomberg leading the way with 9 points, 5 points for Perry, 4 points for Kruger, and 3 points for Gullickson. So far, people with multiple fouls, 2 fouls on Jones for Pioneer, 2 fouls on Gatson. On Dexter, it's 2 fouls on Chase, 2 fouls on Perry, and 2 fouls on Gullickson. Again, we want to remind you that coming up, save the date for April 15th, as it will be Ann Arbor Pioneers Booster Fundraising Bash. It is the biggest fundraiser for Pioneer Athletics all year long. So if you can come out, it will be 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Germain Audi of Ann Arbor. Join the fun and help raise funds for Pioneer Athletics. That's the Pioneer Fundraising Booster Bash, April 15th. As we'll play a few messages from the MHSAA, we'll be back with your intermission scoreboard report here at half. It's 22-14, Dexter with the lead over Pioneer.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Let's take a quick break and go over our intermission scoreboard report. As back on the 7th, it was Temperance Bedford beating Huron by a score of 64-30. Pioneer, we know, beat Skyline 54-26. It was Saline beating Monroe 55-10, and this Dexter team beating Ypsilanti Lincoln 66-23. That's SEC red action. If we flip over to the SEC white and search. Scores back from the 7th, it was Chelsea beating Pinckney 81-37. Jackson beat Ypsilanti Community 48-34, and it was Tecumseh beating Lansing Waverly 52-40. Let's play just a little bit of music. We have about 3 minutes, 30 seconds left before we tip off your second half action here at the half. It's Dexter 22, Pioneer 14. You're watching Pioneer Women's Varsity Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. We have about a minute left before we head into the second half. It is Dexter 22, Pioneer 14. Again, taking a look at your leading scorers. Brewer leads the way for Pioneer with 7 points. 2 points for Emmanuel Davis, 2 points for Jordan Davis, 2 points for Jones, and a point for Karsh. On the other side, 9 points for Bloomberg, 5 points for Perry, 4 points for Kruger, 3 points for Gullickson, and a point for Chase. As it is an 8-point lead by Dexter. We're last moment instructions by the coaching staffs across the way as Dexter breaks the huddle. Coming out as out there for Dexter is Bloomberg. Let's see, that would be Gullickson, Chase, Perry, as well as Fuchs for Pioneer. Bird inbound right in front of us. Jones out there, Emmanuel Davis, Gatson, and Jordan Davis. Jones hands it off to Brewer. Brewer for Pioneer comes over half court, puts it over on the far wing for Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis, top of the key for Jones. Jones spinning on that pivot foot. Jones moving over on the near wing. Over to Brewer. Brewer over to Jordan Davis on the far wing. Back to Brewer on the far sideline. Being watched by Perry. Over to Jordan Davis in the far corner. Jordan Davis comes top over to the free throw line. Now to Jones on the near wing. 7:30 left to go. Emmanuel Davis underneath trying to get to Gatson. That pulled away by Perry. 22-14. Dexter with the lead. Perry comes ahead with it. Perry on the near wing. Flips that over to Bloomberg. Bloomberg over to Gullickson on the far wing. That knocked away. Pioneer gets the ball. Jordan Davis over to Brewer. Brewer over half court. Underneath to Emmanuel Davis. Puts it up. Off glass. Off to the near side. Now here comes Bloomberg the other direction for Dexter. Bloomberg on the far wing. Picked up by Brewer there. 7 minutes left to go here in the third. Perry on the near wing. Back over to Chase, top of the key. Chase hands it off to Perry on the near wing, who works her way around the arc. Perry cuts on that far wing, working against Jones. Over on the near wing to Chase. Chase over on the far wing to Fuchs. Fuchs hands it off. Perry down to the baseline. That off the side of the glass. Jordan Davis with the rebound. 22-14. Dexter with the lead. Brewer comes over half court. Over to Jordan Davis on the near sideline. 6:28 left to go here in the third. Jones, top of the key, gets that over to Emmanuel Davis. Emmanuel Davis from the free throw line. Up, off glass, and in. Emmanuel Davis with 4 points. 6:14 left to go here in the third. 22-16. Perry for three, and she hits it the other way. Perry now has 8 points for Dexter, makes it a 25-16 lead by the Dreadnoughts. 6 minutes even left to go as Brewer coming ahead as they call the foul. As Chase picks up her third foul, first foul for either team of this half. Chase takes a breather as Cabana comes in for the Dreadnoughts. Dexter with the 9-point lead. 1 tick under 6 minutes left to go here in the third. Brewer will inbound right in front of the scorer's bench. Brewer gets it into Jones for Pioneer. Jones back to Brewer on the far sideline. Brewer watched over there by Perry. Gets a screen from Emmanuel Davis. Brewer puts it up and off the side of the rim. Pulled down by Dexter as Bloomberg brings it ahead for the Dreadnoughts over half court. Bloomberg top of the key, down the near side of the paint. That put up underneath, hit the bottom side of the glass. There is a three-pointer by Gullickson. That off out of bounds, and that will stay Dexter ball. 5:32 left to go here in the third. 25-16, Dexter with the lead. They maintain possession as Perry will inbound baseline left. Perry gets that into Cabana. Now back to Perry in the near corner. Perry gets the free throw line. That tipped away. Perry chases down the loose ball for Dexter. Perry loses an edge and goes down hard as Emmanuel Davis picks up her first foul. Perry looks like she's okay. Pops back up. 1 foul apiece for both teams. 5 minutes, 22 seconds left to go here in the third. Perry sets and that up for Bloomberg, who puts up a three. Bloomberg nails it, leads all scorers with 12 points. That makes it 26-16, 12-point lead by the Dreadnoughts as Brewer has it for Pioneer as Coach Hicks wants to talk things over. Pioneer calls timeout. Let's play a little push on, trying to get them fired up, get you fired up, get everybody fired up for a big Pioneer comeback. The Pioneer cheer squad in the house over baseline right. Trying to keep all the fans fired up here. Decent crowd, lots of Dexter folks, lots of Pioneer folks down over on this side. As both teams getting last minute instructions from their staffs. Dexter has ballooned their lead out to the largest lead of the game, 12 points, 28-16. Pioneer heads out onto the court. Pioneer will have the ball as Jones will inbound on the near sideline. Jones to Brewer. Brewer just inside of half court. Watched by Bloomberg. Gets it to Gatson, top of the key. Gatson comes down the far side of the paint. Gets over to Jordan Davis in the far corner. Jordan Davis into the paint. Puts it up. Off the back of the rim. Wouldn't go, but the foul. That is going to be on Gullickson. That is her third foul. Second team foul on Dexter this half. 2 fouls on Dexter, 1 on Pioneer. Now Jordan Davis bends deeply, puts up the first shot. That off the front of the rim. One more coming. Trying to get it down to an 11-point lead. Kruger comes in for Dexter. Sheffield comes in for Pioneer. And deep bend for Jordan Davis. Eyes the rim, puts it up, puts it in. Jordan Davis with 3 points. It's an 11-point lead for Dexter, 28-17, 4:56 left to go. Here in the third, Perry brings it ahead for Dexter over half court. Sheffield picks her up from there. Perry on the far sideline, right in front of the Dexter coaching staff. Perry races to the baseline into the corner. As that back over to Bloomberg on the near wing. Bloomberg into the near corner for Perry. Has it just off the top of the key. Perry races down into the paint, puts it up, off glass and in. As Perry has 10 points. That makes it 30-17, 13-point lead, largest lead for Dexter of the game. Gatson brings it ahead for Pioneer. Over to Emmanuel Davis on the near wing. Over to Gatson, right underneath the basket. Gatson puts it up, puts it in. Gatson with her first points of the game. That makes it 30-19, back to an 11-point lead for Dexter with 4:05 left to go. Bloomberg comes top of the key for Dexter. Three-pointer put up off the rim by Fuchs. Pulled down by Emmanuel Davis. Emmanuel Davis gets it over to Brewer. Brewer ahead for Pioneer over half court. Brewer on the far wing. Brewer. Now on that far sideline, Brewer gets it to Emmanuel Davis. Emmanuel Davis double teamed in the paint, makes a pivot move, puts it up, wouldn't go, gets her own rebound. That grab by Hahn. Hahn puts it up, but she was bumped, went off of the glass, came off to the near side. That is going to be on Kruger. Kruger comes up with her first foul, third on Dexter. 4 more, and that'll put Pioneer in the bonus. Hahn shooting 2 for Pioneer, spins the ball. Hahn trying to get it down to a single-point deficit, or a single-digit deficit. Put up and in by Hahn, hit off of the rim. That makes it a 10-point lead. Hahn trying to get it down to a 9-point lead. Jordan Davis comes in, gives Emmanuel Davis a breather. On one more shot coming. Spins the ball, bends the knees, eyes the rim, puts it up. That off the back of the rim, chased down by Hahn. Pioneer maintains possession. Brewer on the far sideline. Brewer for 3. Oh, and Jake punks off of the rim, comes down on the near side. Perry for Dexter the other direction. Perry, whistle. As Hahn picks up the foul. 2 fouls on Pioneer, 3 on Dexter. Dexter to inbound on the near sideline. 3:49 left to go. As Perry has it here in the third. Perry for Dexter comes on the far wing. Sheffield watching her. Top of the key for Bloomberg for three. That off the back of the rim. Sheffield trying to get it. Tipped back by Jordan Davis, but over to Perry, who puts it off glass. Rattles around and down. Perry now has 12 points. It's a 12-point lead again by Dexter, 32-20. Brewer for Pioneer on the far sideline. Under 3 minutes left to go here in the third. Brewer with the long two-pointer. Off the side of the rim. Jordan Davis got the rebound, but batted away now. Gatson into the paint. Gatson spins, trying to get it to Brewer in the far corner. Brewer, quick pressure on her, comes down to the baseline. Brewer puts it up. That off the rim, falls off the far near side. Jordan Davis underneath gets the rebound and a foul. And it looks like it's going to be on Cabana. Cabana picks up her first foul. 2 fouls on Pioneer now, 4 on Dexter. As Kruger comes off, gets a break. As Sheffield inbound, baseline right, gets it to Gatson. Gatson into the paint for Pioneer, puts it up, off glass, off the rim. Hahn trying to get the rebound, but it ends up out of bounds. That will be Dexter ball. 2:34 left to go here in the third. 32-20. As Dexter with the lead and the ball as Perry brings it over half court. Perry comes to the free throw line, kicks that back over to Fuchs. Fuchs over on the far wing as that is Simpson with it, but a whistle and a foul. Brewer picks up her first foul. 3 fouls on Pioneer, 4 on Dexter. Karsh and Emmanuel Davis come back in. Gatson and Hahn get a break, as well as Jordan Davis as Jones comes back in for Pioneer as well. Cabana to inbound, baseline left with 2:23 left to go here in the third. Jones has to check in. There we go. 12-point lead by the Dreadnoughts, 32-20. As Cabana inbounds it to Perry. Perry dishes it back to Cabana on the far side of the paint, stolen away by Brewer. Here comes Brewer for Pioneer over half court. Gets it over to Sheffield on the near wing. Sheffield working her way, battling against Simpson. Sheffield at the top of the key, trying to get it over to Brewer. Now moves it over to Emmanuel Davis on the near wing. Emmanuel Davis picks up her dribble. Gets it back to Sheffield. Sheffield over to Brewer, just inside of half court. Brewer comes on the far sideline. 1 minute, 56 seconds left to go here in the third. Now Jones right in front of Coach Hicks. Gets it to Emmanuel Davis, top of the key. Emmanuel Davis hands it off to Brewer. Brewer for three! And off the rim, off the glass, rebound by Emmanuel Davis. Her putback wouldn't go, off the bottom of the rim, pulled down by Bloomberg. Bloomberg the other direction. Bloomberg for Dreadnoughts, over half court. Bloomberg comes top of the key. Jones watching her. Bloomberg on the far wing, over into the far corner. Working her way around is Simpson. Back over now to Perry. Perry lofts it over on the near wing to Fuchs. Fuchs to Bloomberg in the near wing. Bloomberg comes top of the key. Bloomberg gets it over to Perry. Perry back off of the arc, races into the paint. Now over to Bloomberg for three from the near wing. And misses the iron, but Dexter with the rebound over to Fuchs. As that coming down the baseline, kicks it back out to Perry. Perry for three, and it comes off to the near side, but Bloomberg with the rebound. That put back off the glass wouldn't go. Battle for it, Dexter picks it up. Kicks it back over to Perry. Perry races down the far side of the paint. Puts it up, finger roll, rattles around and down. Perry now leading all scorers with 14. 34-20. Dexter with their largest lead of 14 points. 38 seconds left to go here in the third. Brewer for Pioneer has it, gets it over top of the key to Emmanuel Davis. Over into the far corner is Karsh. Karsh skies it over to Jones, top of the key. Now over on the near wing to Sheffield. Sheffield works against Perry. Over on the near elbow to Karsh. Karsh gets into the far corner for Jones. Jones works her way, far wing, hands it over to Brewer. As Brewer on the far sideline, screen from Karsh. Brewer double teamed in the far corner, kicks it over to Karsh. Karsh on that far sideline. 6 seconds left to go in the third. Sheffield coming over, 2 seconds left to go. 1 second shot, rattles around, would not go for Emmanuel Davis as it hit the far side of the iron, the near side of the iron, the far side of the iron, and would not go down. At the end of three, Dexter has ballooned their lead, 34-20. Let's play a quick message from the MHSAA. We will be right back with the all-important fourth quarter action as Pioneer looking to make a big comeback here.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
8 minutes up on the clock as Dexter with the 34-20 lead. Dexter to inbound the ball as Bloomberg has it right in front of us. Bloomberg gets that over. Now Perry over on the near wing to Bloomberg. Bloomberg comes top of the key, flips that over to Cabana. Cabana over to Perry on the far sideline, trying to get it into the paint. Bounce pass and a foul called. As Gatson picks up the foul, that is her third foul. 4 fouls on Pioneer, 4 fouls on Dexter. That ball inbounded as Chase has it. Chase comes top of the key. Over on the near wing to Perry. Perry dishes it underneath for Bloomberg. Bloomberg hooks it up. Rebound by Emmanuel Davis. Here comes Brewer the other direction for Pioneer. Pioneer down 34-20 to the Dreadnought. Sheffield on the far wing. Back over to Brewer. Brewer trying to get it on the baseline. That knocked away. Here comes Dexter the other direction. Perry over to Chase. Chase on the near baseline puts it up and in. Long 2-pointer for Chase. That's 3 points for Chase. 36-20, 16-point lead now by Dexter. 7:05 left to go here in the fourth. Brewer brings the head for Pioneer on the near sideline. Brewer top of the key, working against Cabana. Brewer puts it up, that off of the iron, trying to pull it down. That's going to be a jump ball as Gatson and Chase get tied up. Possession arrow points Pioneer's way. Pioneer to inbound baseline right. 6:54 left to go. As now on the near elbow. And kicked all the way back to Brewer, just inside of half court. Brewer comes top of the key. Brewer now on the near wing, gets a screen from Gatson. Brewer trying to dish it underneath the Gatson. That knocked away by Perry, picked up by Dexter. 6:30 left to go as Perry has it on the near wing. Perry over to Chase, just off the top of the key. Now over to Gullickson. Gullickson back to Perry, about 5 feet off the top of the key. Jordan Davis watching her. Perry puts it up as she drives the lane, takes a bump, puts it up off glass, wouldn't go. But a foul called as that is going to go on Jones. Jones picks up her third foul. Perry to the line shooting two. First one is up and good for Perry. That is 15 points for Perry. 17-point lead, largest for Dexter. Perry trying to make it an 18-point lead. Perry puts it up, puts it in. 16 points for Perry, leading all scorers. Brewer brings the head for Pioneer. 6:13 left to go here in the fourth. 38-20. Timeout call by Coach Hicks. We'll take it with him. Let's play a little push on. 6:08 left to go here in the fourth as it is Dexter with the lead, 38-20. Dexter comes out onto the court. 5 fouls on Pioneer, 4 fouls on Dexter. Pioneer to inbound, Burr to inbound on the near sideline. Burr gets it in, Jordan Davis over to Jones on the far wing, Jones. Now comes in to the far elbow, over to Jordan Davis back to Jones. Jones being watched by Chase. Jones bounce pass over to Brewer. Brewer just inside of half court, comes over on the near wing. Brewer, top of the key, now works her way over onto the far wing. Brewer spins with it. Brewer kicks it back over to Jones. Jones works her way to the far elbow. Jones comes out, gets herself a little bit of room to work, working against Chase, gets a screen from Jordan Davis. Bounce pass to Brewer, just inside of half court. 5:25 left to go here in the fourth. 18-point lead by the Dreadnoughts. Dish underneath. Emmanuel Davis off glass, off rim, gets her own rebound. Wouldn't go, rolled off the rim to the near side. Coming ahead, here comes Chase for Dexter. Chase moves it over on the far sideline to Perry. Chase for three, and hits off the rim, off the glass, pulled down by Gatson.
Foul is on Alana Bloomberg. That's her first.
Bloomberg picks up her first foul. 5 fouls on Pioneer, 5 fouls on Dexter. Burr bringing it ahead up court. 5:02 left to go here in the fourth. Burr over half court for Pioneer, working against Perry. Burr now picks up her dribble, moves it over on the near wing to Emmanuel Davis. Emmanuel Davis underneath to Gatson. Gatson double teamed as that batted away. Pioneer's ball. 4:45 left to go here in the fourth. Burr to inbound, baseline right. Burr skies it all the way out. Jordan Davis moves it over to Jones. Now Brewer has it on the near wing. Brewer working her way around the arc. Comes top of the key. Perry in front of her. Brewer now picks up the dribble, moves over to Jones on the far wing. Jones gets a screen from Gatson. Jones on the far sideline, comes down the baseline, spins with it, moves it back to Brewer. Brewer on that far wing. Brewer double team, trying to shake free. Brewer comes down the baseline from the far side, puts it up, rattles it home, as Brewer now has 9 points. 38-22. Dexter with the lead. Dexter driving out of bounds as Gullickson goes down the paint. That is going to be Dexter ball. With 4:07 left to go, 38-22. Dexter with the 16-point lead. Bounce pass out to Perry. Perry just inside the far sideline. Now Chase comes into the paint, moves down the near wing for Bloomberg for three. That off the rim, falls off to the far side. Gatson with the rebound. Here comes Brewer for Pioneer. 3:50 left to go. Pioneer down by 16 points. Brewer on the far wing, and Gatson picks up a foul. Fourth foul on Gatson, 6 fouls on Pioneer, 5 on Dexter. As Perry moves it over to Bloomberg. Bloomberg at the free throw line, moves it back over to Chase. Chase spins, gets it back to Perry. Perry into the paint, puts it up off glass and in. Perry now has 18 points, and it's 40-22, back to an 18-point lead. 3:23 left to go here in the fourth, as that put up by Brewer rattles off, wouldn't go down, as Bloomberg with the rebound for Dexter. Bloomberg comes over top of the key, drives the lane, puts up a floater, that off to the near side. Grabbed down by Brewer. Jump ball has got tied up by Bloomberg. 3:06 left to go here in the fourth, 40-22.
Also number 34, Haley Sheffield.
Point lead by the Dreadnoughts. Gullickson to inbound, baseline left. Gullickson skies it out. Perry has it. Perry moves it over on the near wing as that is Fuchs with it. Back to Perry. Perry on the near wing. Perry kicks it over. Bloomberg coming down the baseline to the far side. Reverse layup wouldn't go. Battle for it. That pulled down by Jones. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left to go. Pioneer trying to cut into the Dexter 18-point lead. Brewer for Pioneer, top of the key. Brewer comes over onto the near wing. Dishes it underneath the Hahn. Hahn has that grabbed underneath, tied up. Jump ball, possession arrow pointing Pioneer's way. Cabana comes back in for Dexter. 2:37 left to go here in the fourth. Jones has it in the near corner for Pioneer. Works her way around. Jones over to Brewer on the near wing. Brewer comes top of the key, gets a screen from Hahn. Brewer for three. Brewer rattles around. Tough luck miss. Wouldn't go. Karsh with the rebound. Karsh picks it up, flips it back to Brewer. Brewer top of the key. Brewer thought about it, now comes into the paint, puts up a floater, rolls around and down. Brewer with 11 points, 40-24. Dexter with the lead, 2:10 left to go. Perry for the Dreadnoughts over half court. Perry races to the free throw line, moves it to Cabana for three, and Cabana hits it. Cabana with her first points, happens to be a three-pointer, and makes it 43-24, 19-point lead. Largest for Dexter all game long. Brewer for Pioneer brings it in. Top of the key, Brewer on the near wing. Gets a screen from Hahn. Brewer trying to dish it off to Hahn. And just off of her fingertips, Dexter the other direction. Perry down the lane. Drives, puts it up off glass and in. Perry with an off-balance shot now has 20 points, and it's 21-point lead for Dexter. Jones on the near wing for Pioneer. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go. Hands it off to Brewer. Brewer just inside the near sideline. Brewer puts up a three-pointer. And off the back of the rim, Hahn trying to get to it. That rolls out of bounds. That will be Dexter ball. 1:18 left to go here in the fourth. 45-24, Dexter with the lead. As Chase to inbound. As Lewis in now. Both teams empty the benches. As Chase to inbound now. Jones comes off. 1 minute, 18 seconds left to go. Chase brings it over half court for the Dreadnoughts. 1:13 left to go. As Kruger comes to the free throw line. Kruger moving it over to Cabana. Cabana stops on the far sideline. Back over to Kruger. Kruger over to Chase. Chase works her way around the arc. Hands it off. Cabana for three. That off the rim. Pulled down. Wernham out. Foul on Lewis. 6 fouls apiece on both teams. One more, and that will put either team in the bonus. 56.7 seconds left to go. As Dexter with the 21-point lead. Sheffield brings it over half court. Sheffield working against Kruger. Now Sheffield goes down the paint, loses the handle, and picked up. Kruger the other direction. Kruger over half court. Kruger into the paint, dishes it off, coming over Lewis with it. Back over to Kruger, 33 seconds left to go into the far wing for Hughes. Hughes moves it over to Cabana. Cabana has on her. Now Simpson into the far corner. All the way back over to Kruger with 22 seconds left to go. Cabana comes top of the key. Over into the near corner for Simpson. Simpson back over to Cabana, now to Kruger. Kruger comes to the free throw line. Kruger dishes it off to Lewis. 7 seconds left to go as the ball out of bounds with 3.2 seconds left to go. Dexter ball. As Dexter just wanting to kill off the clock. Cabana to inbound in front of us. As Cabana gets it inbounded and 1 second left. That will do it. Dexter wins as they win 45-24. as Dexter moves to 7-10, or Pioneer, excuse me, moves to 7-10. Dexter moves to 13-5 on the season. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. We will have Pioneer men's varsity hockey coming up in 45 minutes from the Ann Arbor Ice Cube with Jeff Cass on the play-by-play call. Thank you, and have a great night.